welcome to another edition of Perspective 254. My name is Agility Ekesa. Today on the show, it's Dr. Ruto. Dr. Ruto is mad and he is really pissed off. And for a change, he's not mad at Raila or Uhuru Kenyatta this time. Those two get a break this time around. I have a feeling though, if he could find a way to connect the issue to the handshake, then he would totally do that. Whatever is making him mad, this time has nothing to do with the handshake. So, what is it? Well, on August 1st, that was yesterday, the president had a few choice words for his cabinet secretaries and top government officials.
And that is why people resort to the old incompetent excuses that there was traffic for them not to be in a public, the most important public function. We have a job because we have a contract. If you cannot keep time with your employer, you have basically dismissed yourself. I mean, it's just as simple as that. So, for those who came late, who are members of the executive, I will be expecting a written explanation, and it should not include matters of traffic.
He is fed up with laziness, negligence, corruption, and he is not holding back. Picture this. Ruto at State House in Nairobi is ready to hand out performance contracts, and some key officials choose not to keep time or chose to keep Kenyan time. They will get there when they get there. It doesn't matter. Turns out, Dr. Ruto was not in the mood to accommodate latecomers. He's having none of it. He said, if you cannot keep time, then you have basically dismissed yourself. And don't even think about blaming the traffic for this. You know, the Kenyan excuse, traffic ilikuwa ni mbaya. So this time we can't blame the traffic. So can we assume that Kindiki and Kuria are officially out of the cabinet? Well, we can only hope. Maybe not. You know, wishes do come true sometimes. Ruto is not just annoyed about the tardiness. He is calling out general laziness in the government. He's even found himself knowing more about certain ministries than the people that actually run the ministries themselves. He said, the moment I know more than you in your ministry, then something is definitely very wrong. That's according to him. But it's not just about scolding the ministers. Dr. Ruto's got a plan. He's decided to implement the zero tolerance policy against graft. And what he said was, I shall deal with cases of negligence, misappropriation, embezzlement, theft, or other misconduct or corruption summarily and decisively. He declares, if you're looking to steal money from government projects, then please watch out. Which makes me wonder just how he plans to deal with himself in regards to the same issue. Because, you know, so in addition to guys like Kuria having to do their assigned duties as cabinet secretaries, he also expects officials to get out there and explain government policies to the Mwananchi and collect feedback from the same people. So performance contracts, it's not just a routine thing anymore. It is a serious business under Dr. Ruto, and people have to start taking them very serious. He is demanding accountability, performance, and a new approach to governance, which honestly, is indeed a breath of fresh air. Ruto is tired of the same old excuses and he's ready to shake things up. So, if you're part of the team, you better step up your game. The president means business this time and he is not playing around. Speaking of cabinet secretaries, some of these guys seem to be getting drunk with power. A bunch of them, including Susan Nahumicha from the Ministry of Health, Mithika Linturi from Agriculture, Moses Kuria from Trade, and one Alfred Mutua from Foreign Affairs are actually stirring the pot lately. These guys have been making some very bold moves and comments that are actually raising eyebrows. Nahumicha, for instance, recently ordered the transfer of the officer in charge of Matisi Police Station.
Sisi katika serikali ambayo tunafanya kitu kinaitwa one government approach. Haihitaji Kindiki kuwa hapa kumtransfer OCS ambayo yuko hapa. Mimi ni waziri katika serikali ya William Samoei Ruto. Kwa hivyo ya maneno ya OCS niko hapa na ninatoa amri. County commandant kama yuko hapa na ananisikiza, na kama ako mahali pengine habari mfikie. Waziri amesema kufikia kesho jioni OCS wa Matisi yakuwa ameondoka.
According to her, she claims that she has the power to do this as a cabinet secretary and that her word is final. According to the cabinet secretary Nahumicha, the Kenya Kwanza government is all about one government approach where a cabinet secretary can call the shots outside their usual roles. She said, I am giving an order. County commander, if you're here or if you can hear me from wherever you are, by tomorrow, the Matisi OCS should be gone. And then, of course, we have Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who himself has a long established history of speaking out of turn.
And we have heard you are going to have talks, well and good. But since I have not seen a commitment that you denounce violence and give Kenyans undertaking that you not go back to the streets, those policemen will stay on standby for now. If in the next 2-3 months you are of good behavior, there is no demonstration, there is no chaos, we shall return the men to you to guard you. He
recently told Azimio leaders that they can only get their security back if they behave well for the next 3 months. This comes after the security details of Azimio leaders Raila Odinga, Wiper boss Kalonzo Musyoka, a bunch of MPs and governors was pulled during the recent anti-government protests. According to Article 245 of the Constitution on the command of the National Police Service, Section 4 states that no person may give direction to the Inspector General with respect to employment, assignment, promotion, suspension, or dismissal of any member of the service except the Cabinet Secretary responsible for that ministry. So this has got people wondering if these guys are just going rogue or is there some bigger plan at play here? Why are they all speaking out of turn without a care? There is a growing list of Kenya Kwanza leaders who are stepping outside their lanes recently. For example, Moses Kuria from the Trade and Industry Ministry and his colleagues Alfred Mutua and Florence Bore have been trying to direct matter beyond their ministries. In the past, Kuria and Linturi had a spat over food import directives. Kuria announced plans to import genetically modified maize to help Kenyans facing hunger, but Linturi said that he knew nothing about that. Linturi is the Minister for Agriculture. And then Kuria was back at it again, suggesting a military invasion of Sudan if their warring generals did not reach a truce. Bore took charge of updating Kenyans on a recent road accident, which should have been handled by Roads Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen. And Alfred Mutua, him of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, recently said Kenya was sending 1,000 police officers to Haiti, which is more of an interior ministry thing than the foreign affairs thing. It's a bit of a mess here. It's got people asking if these leaders are just being rogue or if they're just clueless about their roles as cabinet secretaries. Either way, it's about time the good Dr. Ruto stepped in to straighten things out before they get way out of hand. Which brings us to the question of a mandatory vetting. How did these guys get here, despite the mandatory vetting they had to go through?
But Mr. Speaker, looking at this cabinet in totality, I have my fears. We are approving, if we do approve, we are approving a cabinet that is not so competent. We are approving a cabinet that I think the mindset of the appointing authority was not on service delivery. This is not a cabinet that is going to bring economic revolution in this country.
The mandatory vetting of public officials provided for in our constitution comes about after our bad past in which a president could appoint anyone he wished to fill a position, whether the person was capable, qualified of the task or not. The previous constitution was silent on this matter, and this is how we ended up with a central bank governor whose field of study was actually history and who had no background at all in either finance or economics. We had cabinet ministers who had never attended school at all, and the damage they did to this country has yet to be quantified. The vetting provision was put in place to save the nation from such types of people, and that is why all executive appointments have to be confirmed by Parliament. Sadly though, this noble prerequisite is being made a mockery of by the likes of these guys. Partisan politics has taken over the existence of independent thinking by members of Parliament. They are slowly throwing away parliamentary power to check the executive and thinning away the relevance of the legislature. So, unless something is done right now and done real quick, we might end up in a situation where we regret for the next so many years.